KD2 LRX FusionNet set to begin at 9 p.m. but pre-check starting in 5 minutes and less, or less I should say, KD2 LRX. KD2 LRX to that station that was just trying to get in there. I cleared the airwaves about a minute ago. Pre-check's about to begin in 4 minutes. KD2 LRX.
JB6DHR waiting for early check-in.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, as I announced, we're 2 minutes away. We were 5 minutes away at my first announcement from pre-check. Now we're a minute away. How about that? KB6BHR standby, sir. You'll be number 2 on that list.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, so here we go, sir. 82 LRX. Pre-check now set to begin for FusionNet. The official start of the net is at 9 p.m. Eastern, but pre-checks, as you all know, and as I've announced, since 8:25 begin at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, which it is now. With that said, we do have our first check-in. After me, of course, came to the DHR. That's Michael and Kelso. Michael, we'll start things off by getting your local temperature and find out if you have traffic.
Local temperature 79.9, clear and sunny, and I don't have any specific traffic for the net tonight.
All right. There you go. 79.9 degrees. No traffic tonight, but you are on that list at the very top. All right. Doing more check-ins, pre-checks to FusionNet. You know the drill. Need your temperature. Need to know if you have traffic. KD2 LRX.
This is your captain speaking, November 7, Mike Kilo Yankee, where it is a ungodly 100 degrees in Boise, Idaho. And yes, I will have traffic, and I'm actually going to do a really bad thing and compete with my lovely wife with a joke tonight. So you're going to have 2 jokes tonight. Back to Net Control.
So we're going to have a joke off tonight, huh? Look at that. All right. Any other check-ins tonight? KD2 LRX pre-check.
This is Kilo 1, November Echo Whiskey. I hope I'm making the reflector. The name is Tom. It's 82 degrees here in Naples, Florida. No traffic.
K1NEW, you did a great job just now checking in. I mean, a phenomenal, superb job. 82 degrees in Naples, Florida, the beautiful west coast of Florida. And we are glad to have you here tonight. Welcome aboard. All right, any other stations? KD2 LRX. That last station after K1NEW broke up. If you want to go again, I'd love to take that check-in. KD2 LRX. All right. Nothing heard there. So any other stations looking to check into FusionNet, please call now. Right now, at this time, we have me, KD2LRX, Net Control, KB6DHR, Michael, and Kelso. We have David in Boise and 7MKY, K1NEW over in Naples. Who wants to be next? KD2LRX.
KD2, LRX, this is Kilo Bravo Zero, Bravo Sierra, India, Minot, North Dakota, with 78 degrees and partly cloudy.
November 8th, Victor Tango Uniform, N8VTU, Scott, Piqua, Ohio, with 81 degrees in short time.
All right, very good. We have KB0BSI in the 5 spot, 78 degrees, no traffic, N8BTU, 81 in Piqua, Ohio. He's in and out tonight. KD2LRX calling for more check-ins.
Net control. This is radio station Alpha Charlie 2, Alpha Echo, Joe in Gravesend, Brooklyn, New York, with a steamy 97 disgusting, sweaty, humid degrees out here. And I have traffic.
All right, Net Control would like to welcome my good friend Joe, AC2A8, Gravesend, Brooklyn. He's in the number 7 spot tonight. He's got traffic, and I have a feeling he'll complain a little bit about the weather as well tonight. And with full fairness, he has every right to, because yes, it is really hot. All right, who wants to check in next? KD2LR. KD2LRX calling for number 8. Who wants to be the hot 8 on the hot evening of the hottest net on the digital side of ham radio? KD2LRX.
KD2LRX. This is Kilo Golf 0 Bravo Kilo, Russ in Iowa, where we have 80 degrees, and I will have some traffic.
The guy who puts the man in Manchester, Iowa, that is, KG0BK, Russ, in Iowa, 80 degrees. He's got some traffic for us tonight as well. I love his little interesting factoids that he's been bringing us on this date the last few weeks. They're really a bunch of fun. All right, let's see. Lucky number 9, KD2LRS.
KK7AYJ, Annette in Boise, Idaho. We're at 101 degrees, and I will have traffic.
All right, KD2LRX. Annette, welcome to the net in Boise, Idaho, where she has 101 degrees on probably the other side of the house than David, where David has 100, Annette has 101. I'll be honest with you. I think it would be great if the hottest temperatures are between Annette and David, and Annette wins with 101. That'd be great. 2 different sides of the house, 2 different temperatures. All right, who wants to be number 10? KD2LRX.
Kilo Delta 2, my Sierra uniform, Highway 20 Island, Brooklyn, New York. It's 90 degrees and I'll have the weather.
All right, very good. 90 degrees in Coney Island, Brooklyn. KD2 MSU has your weather coming up in just a bit. We're on to be number 11, KD2 LRX. And David, I don't want to eat you. Some interesting gifts or gifs going around in this net tonight from Joe EC2AE so far. I'm not quite sure what this one is. And I'm not sure if I could quite describe it legally on this net either. But maybe Joe will share what this is a gif of in his traffic tonight. We'll have to see. KD2 LRX. Alright, any other stations wishing to check into FusionNet? Here's your chance to pre-check. And you don't need one of those stupid boarding things from the TSA to do it either. You just need a valid call sign, a local temperature, and you should be able to speak in English as to whether or not you have traffic.
NV7SS, November Victor 7, Sierra Sierra, Cannon, Nevada, 104 degrees here. Traffic.
Well, it looks like somebody beat the net out of the highest temperature of the night, NV7SS, over in Indian Springs, Nevada. He's got 104, beating out our second highest temperature at 101. All right, CBS FM's frequency. How about that? All right. So far, guys, I gotta say, the coldest temperature isn't very cold at all. It's 78 degrees by KV0 DSI over in Minot, North Dakota. So it's a bit warm around the country, apparently. As I sip my seltzer, KD2 LRX. Since nobody's checking in, I'll sing you a song. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a better place, so let's start giving. Alright, KD2LRX. Best I can do.
And 7MKY, please let me recheck.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
And 7MKY rechecking. Yeah, still 100 degrees here. Deadgummit, I got beat. Oh well. Yes, it is going to be a joke off tonight, but I know that my wife's going to win because she always has the best jokes. But mine is pilot related, so make sure your seatbelts are fastened and your overhead bins are closed, and your tray tables are in the upright position along with your seat because it's going to be a good one.
So here's the deal. Annette's joke streak is 99.9% amazing. She has amazing jokes week after week. She had a great joke last week. The week before, though, I'm not sure about that joke. The week before that was her best joke. And then all the others have been incredible, too. But that one joke, I'm not really sure. I'm still, on the fence about it. 2 weeks ago. But I'm confident that Annette has an amazing one for us tonight. And David's probably going to be alright, too. KD2 LRX.
Kilo 2 to net control.
Alright, Chris. Upper West Side, New York City. I got you in there. What's your local temperature? Do you have traffic?
Hello, David, and hello, Jason, and everybody else on the net. We have 93 degrees here on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, and no traffic. K2 CBD, back to net control.
Alright. Welcome aboard, sir. Got you in there at 93 degrees. Now, getting back to our conversation about jokes. I was a lot more hopeful about David's joke until he said that the only reason why he's telling it is as a content or time filler. Oh, God. Yeah, you know what? I was so excited, and now I'm not so sure. So this one better be good. KD2 LRX. All right, he said, "Oh, it's good, perfect." That makes me happier, and a lot more confident in David's ability to tell a joke. Although I will tell you, David's funny, but I'm not sure funny how. All right, a little Goodfellas reference there for you all. 10 minutes, or 11 technically, until the start of this net. KD2 LRX. Doing pre-checks for FusionNet.
VK48HT, Bruce in Brisbane, temperature 59 degrees, 59 degrees, no traffic, over.
Uh-oh, guys, look out. The Aussies are in the room. VK4, EHT, Tarragindi, Australia, 59 degrees. It's getting nice and cold down there. It'll be summer soon, or at least spring soon for them, once more. But we're glad you're here tonight. KD2 LRX. KD2LRX. We are 9 minutes away from FusionNet officially beginning. We already have 13 check-ins. Who wants to be lucky number 14? KD2LRX. Net control, November 5, Delta, Whiskey Romeo, Dennis. Spring, Texas, currently 94 degrees and no traffic. All right, and 5DWR over in Spring. We got you in there, 94 degrees. It feels more like summer, I'm sure. All right, KD2LRX, 8 minutes before the official start of FusionNet. So, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I have a really good question, I think, for you all tonight. I'm really excited about it. And I want you guys to think, I'm not going to tell you what the question is, but of course I want you to think in terms of ham radio, but I also want you to think in terms of any other kind of radio that you do. In other words, listening to AM, FM radio, watching television, technically. Anything that you know generates a signal. I want you guys to kind of think out of the box a little bit. Ham radio, of course, but anything else that comes to mind as well. I'd love to hear in your answers to tonight's question, which I'm not yet going to tell you what it is. You'll just have to sit back, relax, and find out in just a little while. KD2LRX pre-check beginning, or continuing, I should say, and as we await for the beginning of FusionNet, it's just 6 minutes away at this point. KD2LRX. We're going to clear the air. Not that it's so busy right now at this time, but we have 14 check-ins in. If you want to check in, you're going to have to wait till the official start of FusionNet, set to begin in under 2 minutes. Under 120 seconds, everybody. KD2LRX. Seconds away from the start of FusionNet, KD2LRX. So, good evening, everybody. This is KD2LRX, host of tonight's FusionNet. I'm your net control operator for this evening, and this net meets every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, unless otherwise noted. Of course, you don't need to be a member to check in, but why not consider joining? It's totally free and a lot of fun. So how do you join, you ask? Very simple. Check in 10 consecutive times. In a row, that means. At the time of your 10th check-in, please tell us if your email address is up to date on your QRZ page, and if not, simply let us know by sending an email to fusion@fusionnet.org. With membership, you'll have full access to exclusive content on our website. It's that simple, it's that fun, and it is totally FREES free. This is a directed net, which means all traffic goes through yours truly, KD2LRF, net control. In order to check into this net, simply switch off your automatic mode select, also known as AMS, and go to digital narrow mode, DN mode on your Fusion radios. Use your press the talk button, pause for a moment, and then transmit your call sign, your name, location, temperature, and whether or not you have traffic for the net. It's really that simple, guys. So many of you have done so already in pre-checks, but now we're going to call for mobile, short on time, or in and out stations who would like to check into the FusionNet. So only mobile, short on time, or in and out stations looking to check in. You may do so now. Any mobile, short on time, or in and out stations looking to check in, please call Net Control now, KD2LRX. All right, nothing hurt. So with that said, let's call any and all stations who would like to check in to the FusionNet. Any and all stations looking to check in, you may do so by calling yours truly, KD2LRX.
KD2LRX. This is Kilo
Bravo 2, India Delta X-ray. Chris.
FusionNet would like to welcome Chris in Cape Coral, Florida, KB2 IDX. Chris, what's your local temperature and do you have traffic for this evening?
The local temperature right now is a balmy 78 degrees in Cape Coral, Florida. Of course, the humidity is about that high too. You asked me another question. I'm sorry, it already slipped my mind.
No problem at all. Do you have any traffic for tonight's net?
That's it. Negative. No traffic tonight. Just listening. Have a good evening. This is KB2 IDX.
All right, very good. KB2 IDX, welcome aboard. FusionNet, great to have you here tonight. Any other stations looking to check in, please call Net Control now, KB2 LRX.
Alpha Golf 7 Whiskey, Quebec. Wesley in Coolidge, Arizona, where the outside temperature is 108 degrees, no traffic.
All right, Wesley, welcome aboard FusionNet. We're glad to have you here. 108, so let's see. Oh my goodness, you knocked out our good friend Kenneth in Indian Springs for having the warmest temperature tonight in Coolidge, Arizona. 108, hot in the desert tonight. Very nice. Thank you very much for checking in. Any other stations wishing to check in, please call Net. Here's your chance. Here, checking. Here, checking. All right, I guess nothing heard. I guess the hot night is turning some people away from the radio tonight. I don't know. Maybe they're putting on the air conditioner, putting on their radios, and blowing out fuses left and right. I hope not, but maybe. You never know. I know for me, when you turn on the air conditioner, the microwave, and the air fryer, oof, not fun. But anyway, let's go on over to do some traffic right now. We'll go, oh my god, look at this. Look at this. N7MKY must have hacked NetLogger because he put himself down as Captain Cataract. That's awesome. That is amazing. Rusty Balloon, Cigarette and Net, and Captain Cataract. Hide and go see Champ. Oh, this must be Joe doing this. Joe must be. Joe, are you the one hacking NetLogger?
Jake, how long do you know me? I'm from Brooklyn. I don't see nothing, I don't hear nothing.
Oh, I think this is great. Captain Cataract's my favorite now. Speaking of Captain Cataract and 7MKY, let's go over to him. He's got some traffic, including a bad joke during the joke-off between Annette and David. Take it away, sir, and 7MKY from LRX.
And 7MKY, and as Johnny Dangerous would say, Foddergan Bastages, Captain Cataracts. Well, after August 10th, that won't be the case, because I'll either be cataract-free, or I won't see you guys. Anyway, I'm going to let this drop, because here comes my joke. A plane is on its way to Toronto when a blonde in an economy class gets up and moves to the first class section and sits down. The flight attendant watches her do this and asks to see her ticket. She then tells the blonde that she is paid for economy class and that she will have to sit in the back. The blonde replies, "I'm blonde. I'm beautiful. I'm going to Toronto, and I'm staying right here." The flight attendant goes into the cockpit and tells the pilot, aka 7MKY, and the co-pilot that there's a blonde bimbo sitting in first class that belongs in economy and won't move back to her seat. The co-pilot goes back to the blonde and tries to explain to her that because she only paid for economy, she will have to leave and return to her seat. The blonde replies, "I'm blonde. I'm beautiful. I'm going to Toronto, and I'm staying right here." The co-pilot tells the pilot that he probably should have the police waiting when they land to arrest this blonde woman who won't listen to reason. The pilot says, "You say she is a blonde? I'll handle this. I'm married to a blonde. I speak blonde." The pilot goes back to the blonde and whispers in her ear, and she says, "Oh, I'm sorry," and gets up and goes back to her seat in economy. The flight attendant and the co-pilot are amazed and asked him what he said to make her move without any fuss. In 7MKY, the pilot told her first class isn't going to Toronto. In 7MKY, back to net control.
Okay, so here's the deal. I just decided this while David was telling the joke. Since we are having a joke off tonight, we're going to go through traffic a little different. David told his joke. Now Annette is going to tell hers. And then Joe and I, as the two, and Russ, as the three other net control operators, are going to decide who is the winner of this evening's joke off. So we're going to go over to KK7AYJ right now for hers. Keep in mind the joke, Russ and Joe. Don't forget it. All right, you heard it from David. Now we're going to go over to Cigarette Annette with her joke of the evening.
KK7AYJ, this is Annette. Cigarette Annette with the joke of the evening. This is called Driving Test. A teenage boy had just passed his driving test and asked his dad if he could start using the family car. The dad said he'd make a deal with his son. You bring your grades up to a C from a B, study your Bible a little, and get your hair. Samson had long hair. John the Baptist had long hair. Moses had long hair. And there's even strong evidence that Jesus had long hair. His dad replied, "Did you also notice that they are all walking everywhere they went?" Back to net control.
That's a good one. That is a very good joke there. All right. So, I'm not going to give my thought yet. I want to toss it over to Joe, AC2AE, see who he thinks won tonight's joke off between David and Annette.
Okay, just I gotta clarify one thing first. Are you saying joke off, or are you saying jerk something else?
It's a play on the word, but it is joke off. It is joke off. Joke, joke, joke.
All right. Don't be a joke off. I like this pun on words. Okay, I gotta say, on both of these, I've heard two sort of different variations of those jokes. But I gotta say, I'm a sucker for I'm a sucker for a redhead, but I gotta say I'm a sucker for a blonde joke. So I'm gonna have to go tonight, even though Cigarettenet has a long-standing uh, comedical background with the jokes, and she's got her own page and stuff. You know, Dave did give her a run for the money tonight, so I'm gonna have to go with the I'm not going to Toronto joke, the blonde. So, and just another food for thought: two blondes walk into a building. You think one of them would have seen it? Oh, AC2AE. Back on over the net control.
I didn't want to laugh at that joke that Joe just told because I've heard it so many times from him, but I had to. That's a still a good one. All right, so Joe chose David. How about that? Okay. So I'm not going to give my answer yet. We're going to toss it over to KG0BK, the guy who puts the man into Manchester. Russ, tell us who you think won the joke off.
This is KG0BK, and it's a toughie. You don't want to upset the net controller, and you don't want to. Yeah, I'm going to have to say it's a tough one, but I did pick Annette. Although David's they're really, really close. But I'm going to have to go with Annette, I guess, just because. So there you have it. KG0BK.
Oh, wow. All right. So Annette's got a vote from Russ. He said that it was a very close and tough decision to make. But Russ decided to go with Annette's joke tonight. By the way, it is now my turn. And I will tell you this. I agree with Russ. It is a very, very tough choice. I joked with David, and I just told Joe. I just told David actually that his joke sucked. But it actually, I got my phone. In reality, it didn't suck. It was actually really, really funny. I thought it was great. But the next joke was also really, really strong. The next joke was very clever. Um, I liked how Annette's joke said that the people from the Bible they walked, and the kid was trying to borrow the car. I thought it was very well thought out, very well executed. And with that said, guys, I'm going to have to go with Annette. Annette wins tonight's joke off. Very, very close, though. Very, very close. All right. Any comments from our jokesters?
And 7MKY, you're walking.
you know me because I'm the third guy to to cast my vote. I wasn't in it alone. All right, Annette, what do you have to say? The way, Annette, you could flaunt totally the fact that you beat the crap out of your husband over there.
Well, well, to the group, I am totally surprised because the blondes always win. Back to net control.
It's like her joke. Her answer was very well thought out and very well executed. Very nice. Very nice. Well, to you guys, thank you so much for your jokes tonight. If anybody else wants to play along in the Legal Love joke offs moving forward, I don't know. I think it's kind of a fun thing to do. So if you have a joke next week and you want to share it, please do. And David and Annette, if you guys want to continue doing joke offs, please. They're awesome. I for one had a blast doing this tonight. So N7MKY and KK7AYJ, thank you so much. All right. We'll now go on over to KD2 MSU, our resident meteorologist over in Coney Island, Brooklyn, who's got tonight's weather forecast. Take it away, sir.
Well, we sum it up in one word, hot. So today and yesterday, Newark, New Jersey made 100, and New York City was probably in the mid-90s. I don't know what the official. I got up to 99 here late in the day. Started off slowly. We missed the big thunderstorms. They passed to the north and up in Manhattan, Bronx, into Long Island. So we missed all of that. I haven't seen a drop of rain for a few days, but it's rained heavily in the city. Okay, the next 2 weeks, basically, everybody's going to be above normal. Down there in Dallas, Texas, anyone in Texas, you got another, maybe at the end of the month you get a little relief. I don't know if it lasts. So you got until around July 30th. That heat is expanding out into the Pacific Northwest. So if you're up there in Washington State, Oregon, you're going to get your 90s up to 100. Idaho, I know you're already in the hundreds. I think you're going to have several more 100-degree days. I don't know exactly what your normal is there. I think it's about 90. Let's see. Hurricane season, very quiet so far. I don't see anything in the next 2 weeks, or at least 10 days, anywhere that could even blow up. It's not even going to be close to the United States, probably. The only place that looks like it could be below normal is the Florida Panhandle, Louisiana, the Southeast. Maybe in a week they get some rain. I think they keep getting rain there. So maybe they'll be a little below normal. Rest of the country above normal. That's about it. Just Kilo Delta 2 minutes Sierra uniform back to net control.
All right. Thank you for that weather forecast tonight, Howie. Yeah, I got to tell you, I had to take my friend to a surgery this afternoon, and the second I parked into the facility where he was having the surgery, it started pouring and pouring and pouring. And as soon as I drove home, no, not dental, David. The second I drove back home, the sun came out. How about that? Not oral surgery either, David. No. But thanks for asking. All right. Thank you very much. To our resident meteorologist, Katie 2 All right. We're going to go to the GOAT, the greatest of all time. From Brooklyn, New York, Gravesend to be exact, AC2AE. Take it away, sir.
Alrighty. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages? This is Alpha Charlie 2 Alpha Echo, always chasing 2 American Eagles. Alright, guys, I got some good news for you. I got some old news for you. I got some new news for you. We are looking at the next event that is coming up, which is Labor Day, which is September 5th. It lands on a Monday. So I am thinking that we should have a FusionNet Zoom meeting, cross Zoom meeting again, which would probably be held on Thursday the 1st. Thursday, September 1st, which would be the first Thursday before September 5th, which is Labor Day. So, guys, if you're ready to have another Zoom meeting, we are definitely looking to have another one. Just to let you know. Keep an eye out on the FusionNet.org for all the invitations and stuff, and on our Facebook page as well. And, guys, don't forget, we do have a YouTube page. So go to YouTube, look up the FusionNet, and you can actually see our Thursday nights, our Thursday nights live on video feed. It's just audio, but you get the gist of it, guys. All right, so don't forget to go to the FusionNet.org, the FusionNet.org. And with mentioning that, guys, we do have FusionNet T-shirts. So if you want to get your FusionNet T-shirts, go to the FusionNet.org, go to the upper right-hand corner into the menu, and look up merchandising, and you will see a lot of nice-looking shirts there. All right, guys. Let's see. I want to make sure I'm not timing anything out over here. So let me grab this. I didn't flip my little handy-dandy timer over. Guys, as most of you are aware, we have a 10 check-in policy. You check in 10 times consecutively. 10 times consecutively, and you get free lifetime membership to the FusionNet. So, guys, just let me know when you're coming up to your 10th check-in, or when you're at your 9th check-in. Just let me know when you're coming around. Make sure that all your information on QRZ is correct. We do need address. We need your full name. Well, I said we need a mailing address, not a P.O. box. And we can get you signed up. Also, guys, just to also let you know, let me let this drop. Alrighty. I have also added 2 new pages to the FusionNet website. So, it is a Join Us page. So when you click on something and you're going to get to a page that's going to say Join Us, you'll be able to click on the link and go straight to the registration page, and you can register for a free membership. That's right, a free membership. It's not the 10 check-in membership, so it doesn't give you access to the full website. You can only get that by checking in 10 times consecutively. And but at least we'll have your information, and we'll be able to get you ready for when you do have your 10th check-in. And remember, guys, if you have any questions or comments for this net, our email address is fusion@thefusionnet.org. Fusion@thefusionnet.org. Now, guys, here's some good news, man. We are starting a new net. There's going to be a new net. It's either going to be Monday or Tuesday night. I haven't 100% decided. But it will be the Christian Bible Fellowship net. The web page is already up in the FusionNet. Just look it up. Go to the FusionNet.org. In the upper right-hand corner is the menu. Click on that. And in the drop-down list, you will see the Christian Bible Fellowship. So definitely come and check us out, man. We're going to start it this September. So get yourselves ready, man. Get your Bibles ready. Get your questions ready. We're going to have an awesome night of fellowship. All right, this one, guys, I'm not pointing the finger at anybody except for myself. Guys, our net starts at 8:30 for early bird check-ins. But have most of you have noticed at 8:25 we come on here to clear the deck, to clear the air. Please, once 8:25 hits, guys, cease your transmissions, no matter where you are. You don't have to say we're waiting for the net to check in, we're waiting for early birds to check in. Just wait until net control operator calls for your call or calls for your check-in, and things will be running a lot more smoothly. So between 8:25 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern time, guys, keep the air clear for check-ins, guys. All right, one other thing, I'm going to let this drop. Okay. All right, let's see. We're here again. All right. Everybody, this is a directed net. For those that don't know what a directed net is, everything goes through net control. Everything. You do not go direct with any person on this net at all unless you ask permission from net control first. Nobody. That's it. Everything has to go through net control. Pretend net control is your gateway. Everything has to go through him. All questions, all topics, all discussions, all where are you from, what's your call sign, and after the net, guys, we can leave this open where it's open anyway for everybody. So you guys can all um, get calls. If you want to get calls, to log your calls in your book. If you want to get someone from Australia, if you want to get someone from Canada or Japan or whoever's on here at the time, wait please until the net is over, and then you guys can knock yourselves out all night long and have a great time. All right, another change that we made, guys, the topic of interest page. Let me see, do I have time? The topics of interest page on the FusionNet. So go to FusionNet.org. In the upper right-hand corner is the menu. Select topics of interest. There is a whole slew of new topics of interest that I added last week, guys. And if you want a certain topic of interest that you're interested in, a website, whether it has to do with astronomy or anything, ham radio, non-ham radio related. If you think that we would be interested in it, guys, just let us know. Our email is fusion@thefusionnet.org, and you could just put it in there, and we will get it up as soon as we can. All right, my last and final thing. That's it. These are 9 minutes you guys can never get back. My last and final thing is, guys, we want net control operators, guys. The more the merrier. Whoever would like to throw the hat in and try and be a net control operator, we have it fully scripted so you can follow the script. You could freeball it like Jay and myself do, and Dave, or you could just follow the script. But we do need net control operators. Not so much need them, but we want them. So everybody is invited to, I guess, throw their hat in the ring to see what they can do. Alrighty. Did I get that all, man? Alright. You know what? Do I have a few seconds left? Yes. Okay, got a few seconds left, so I'm just gonna let everybody know. AC2AE at his home. Let this drop one more time. It's gonna be a little more than 9 minutes. Okay. Now, as you guys can all see, I am giving a nice, healthy pause in between my transmissions because we have many, many links here, along with the XLX network, the FusionNet, the Monkey Room, and a few other hotspots here and there, the TGIF group, the QuadNet. Guys, we got a lot of links. So, guys, please, in between your transmissions, I don't care if it's Mississippi's or rhinoceroses, or Kalamahooga, or Hooga. Just please pause at least 3 seconds in between your transmissions. All right. Last but not least, guys, my antennas are down. They are off the roof. I am completely off the air. I am only on digital mode as of now, so it is hard for me to get onto this net without kind of finagling things a little bit over here. So you may not be hearing me too often on the air. but I am here. I am out here. I'll always be here. Just drop me an email, say hello, and hopefully one day I'll be able to get the antennas back up on the roof. But until then, boo-hoo on me, and that's it. AC2, AE, that's it. That is 10.5 minutes you guys will never get back. AC2, AE, back on over to net control.
That's for bleeping sure. Joe, thank you so much for your traffic. Really appreciate it. There was an email that came in from a random FusionNet participant who wanted to know if, and this question goes out directly to David, if at the 10th check-in, full access to the website also means access to David's OnlyFans page.
Is that the same page where you see David dancing in a G-string and bunny ears?
Yeah, he for some reason shows his feet. I'm not really sure what that's about. I guess some people are into that. He said make the page and he'll provide the content. All right. All right. N7MKY, thank you for that input. All right. Yeah, and guys, you know what? Being a net control operator is a lot of fun, to Joe's traffic point. We encourage any and all people on this net, any and all participants who are interested in becoming a net control operator, definitely contact us. Listen, I know that it might be it might be nerve wracking the thought of being a net control operator, and yes, I'm not going to lie, your first or second net control attempt, you might feel a bit nervous and anxious about it, but it gets easier and easier and easier. And believe me, we don't expect you guys to be professionals in your first, second, third, fourth, even 100th time. I mean, I suck at this, and Joe and David, they're okay, they're good, but we all just have a good time. And we want you guys to be able to join in on that fun if you want to. So definitely let us know if you want to become FusionNet control operators. I'm looking. So for you guys, let me let this drop. Yes, Steven, vodka does make the night easy. I agree. I had a little bit of vodka before myself. So where was I going with this? We have, as you guys know, this group text for all our net control operators, and one of the biggest pastimes of this net is to try to distract the acting net control operator with the text that kind of comes through. And a lot of them are gifts, a lot of them are pictures, a lot of them are, just comments and stuff like that. We have a blast. So if you hear me laughing sometimes, that's what it comes from. Also, if there's something really funny that I can share with the group, I absolutely will, as you know. So there you have it. What is this, for example? I don't know what that is right there. Joe sent something. Anyway, with that said, it's 9:37. I like to do another call for check-ins. Any stations wishing to check into FusionNet, here's your chance. KD2 LRX. Here, checking. Here, checking.
Net control.
Foxtrot, India. KE0WFI, Tyler in St. Peter, Minnesota.
All right, net control. Net control, this is Nat, K2ACD in Long Beach, New York, where it's 84 degrees. No traffic. I'm going to be in and out.
All right, K2ACD in Long Beach, New York, 84 degrees. He's in and out tonight. Matt, glad to hear your voice on here tonight, and thinking of you, my friend, always. KE0WFI over in St. Peter, Minnesota. Want to know if you have traffic tonight and what your local temperature is.
It is shockingly 78 degrees out. The dew point's actually pleasant for once. And we get one day of this before we're right back to dew points in the upper 70s and 90-degree weather. Who knows how long again. Back to Ned.
All right, KE0WFI. Thank you very much. Tyler, St. Peter, Minnesota. Great to have you on board here tonight. Any other stations looking to check in, please call Net Control now. All right, nothing heard. So with that said, guys, it might be a little bit of an early net, but we will stay here for as long as y'all want to be, and hopefully we'll have some great answers on tonight's questions that'll keep us going. I'm really open about that. So with that said, here's tonight's question, and it comes from me, 82LRX. I want to know if you DX. If so, how do you do so? For example, do you DX amateur radio, CB, TV, broadcast radio, or via another method? What was the farthest station you DX'd, and how far, and how did you do so, I should say? So do you DX? If so, how? Is it through maybe amateur radio? Is it through CB, TV, broadcast radio, or another method? And what was the farthest station you DX'd, and how did you do so? So, let's start things off right now with KB6 DHR, Michael and Kelso. Would love to hear your answers to tonight's question to start things off.
Well, back in the day when I was doing CB radio, didn't have a ham license or anything like that, I think the furthest station I talked to was Australia. And that was on 11 meters. I think it was probably up on 555. Since I've had my ham license, I usually try to do, being that I'm limited to basically 10 meters, that's pretty much where I do my DXing at. And during one of the last contests, I just got out there and made a general call and actually talked to a guy in Hawaii. I didn't write it down. I should have, but oh well, no big deal. So yeah, CB Radio Australia, 10 meter ham radio, Hawaii. Hoping to go further once I get my G5 RV up. Other than that, hope everybody has a nice evening. Back to Net Control.
KD2LRX, Michael and Kelso, KB6DHR. I gotta say, I am very impressed with the 11-meter contact on to Australia. That is an amazing CB radio contact, in my opinion. And Hawaii's not too shabby on amateur radio either. Really nice DX contacts you made. How about that? Really love it. Thanks for sharing that, KB6DHR. we're going over to David in Boise, Idaho. Captain Cataract himself and 7MKY. We want to know, do you DX, David? And if so, how do you do so? Is it through amateur radio, CB, TV, broadcast radio, or another method? And what was the farthest station you DX, and how did you do so?
Yeah, 7MKY. Thanks for coming to me for an answer. Well, first thing is I didn't walk. Don't have long hair. And I'm not blonde either, and I'm not going to Toronto. But yeah, until I can get a cobweb up, which is the MFJ cobweb, I'm gonna have to stick to digital. I think my longest DX on HF was on 20 meters, and it was to Hawaii, and he was booming into Boise, Idaho, and I was so excited. And he actually confirmed, and some other people here in Boise actually heard it as well, and told me good job. But I'd have to say my favorite mode is the rabbit hole of FT8. And just recently, I was able to get Belgium on FT8, which is probably the longest DX I've ever had. And I was super excited about it. The propagation was just perfect. Everything was just wonderful. I was seeing France, Belgium. I even got Russia, but Russia didn't confirm, so I really can't call that a contact. So if Russia had confirmed, then that would have been my longest DX. And they would have probably received a lot of grief because, they're bombing the heck out of the people that make rig expert. That's not cool. Anyway, yeah, Belgium, longest one. Confirmed, definitely on my QRZ, and I'm super excited about it. I will continue to FT8 as soon as I get my MFJ cobweb. I hope I don't get kicked out of this neighborhood. And 7MKY. Back to net control.
All right, very, very nice. Belgium was David's farthest DX contact. That's really, really cool on FT8. And David and everybody else on tonight's net, David, you can answer the question as soon as I key. Did you receive a QSL card from Belgium?
And 7MKY, no, I did not. I was just excited to get the confirmation on Logbook of the World as well as QRZ. I'm sure that if I had a card and sent it, I would get one in return. But that's another project for another day. I'm still trying to come up with an idea of having a card from Idaho. And no, I don't want to put a potato on it. Or cataracts, Joe.
You should put a little spuddy buddy with cataracts. A little potato with cataract eyes.
Aren't you guys just witty tonight? Oh my law! Don't make the captain crash this plane. Flight 40821 is still in flight, and I could turn the fasten seatbelt sign on. Back to net control.
I shouldn't laugh too much because I have a little baby cataract. Like, that song Baby Shark, Baby Cataract, rack. That eventually I have to get taken care of, so you'll be laughing at me one day in the future, I'm sure. Alright. K1NEW, Thomas in Naples, Florida. We want to know, do you DX? If so, how do you do so? Is it through amateur radio, CB, TV, broadcast radio, or another method? And what was the farthest station you DX, and how did you do so? Did you get a QSL card while doing it? K1NEW from LRX.
Rex, Jason, thank you. This is K1NEW. This is my first contact on the FusionNet. I'm enjoying it very much. Good question. I'll go back a ways because I do go back a ways. TVDX from my home back in southeastern Massachusetts, Waterloo, Iowa, and Miami, Florida, TV channels on the analog spectrum. And I'm blown away by Australia on CP. I thought Connie, Nebraska was great, period. I do some HFDX now and QRP, but good question. That's what I have. Tom in Naples, K1NEW, 81 degrees.
All right, Tom. So, Tom, you said you did some TV DXing, which is really cool. You answered the question the way I was hoping some of you would. That's amazing. Where did you say the origin was? Where were you, and where was the DX? Where was the DX station? Tom, did you hear me? Did you leave? Where did you say you were when you picked up that broadcast TV station, and where was it coming from?
K1NEW. Sorry about that. I was in southeastern Massachusetts, where I am from, and the station was in Waterloo, Iowa. That was the old analog TV channels, obviously, in the 70s. Back to you.
All right, very, very cool. Thank you very much. And a little fun fact about the old analog TVs. As you know, in the United States, we had UHF and VHF channels, right? You would flip that little switch to kind of toggle between whether or not you wanted to watch UHF or VHF. In Europe, apparently, they only have VHF TV or VHF analog stations. They never used the UHF part of the spectrum for television. At least that's what I've read while I was eating a wrap at the bagel store a few days ago. All right, very good. So let's go on over to KB0 BSI Tom in Minot, North Dakota, where it's 78 degrees. May have dropped a little bit. I'm not really sure. He'll tell us. For his answer to tonight's question.
Yes, greetings from Minot, North Dakota. The furthest I've ever communicated was just recently on C4 FM on American Link. I was talking with a gentleman in Ireland, and then I spoke with another gentleman in UK. The furthest, then all on the same day, another fellow come in and called my call sign, and here he turns out he's from Japan. I was just blown away. It's I'm brand new to this mode, and to be able to chat with somebody that far away is absolutely amazing to me. Didn't get any QSL cards, obviously, but I'm just happy that I was able to visit with some fellas and make friends. Anyway, back to net control, KB0BSI.
BSI. Isn't that cool? How you could use the digital mode to communicate so far away. Yeah, I too have made some contacts in Japan via digital. In fact, some of them come onto this net. In fact, guys, if you want to make a digital contact tonight with a faraway station, not anywhere near the United States, I strongly, strongly suggest you talk to our good buddy in Australia, VK4DHT, who's in Tarragindi, Australia tonight. He's number 13 on our list. So to make a contact, and we actually have a few other Aussie stations come online every week, so they may even join us a little bit later. So listen out for that. We do have some really fun Japanese stations. Little fun facts, guys. Speaking of Japan, that Joe and I were in a Japanese issue of QST, or their equivalent, a few months ago. They spoke a little bit about this net, and they have a very quirky picture of me at a field day from a few years ago. So you might want to look that up. You could go onto our FusionNet website, the FusionNet.org, and look at that funny article. Well, not funny, pretty cool article. It's really good. All right. Let's go on over to the GOAT, AC2AE. Joe, DVX. If so, how do you do so? Is it through CB, TV, broadcast radio, or another method? What was the first station you DX? How did you do so? And did you get a QSL card? We'll take it away. AC2AE, TV2LR.
Okay, well, yes, I used to do a lot of DXing back in the day when I first started, but I gotta say, my very first contact was my most memorable contact. It was in the south of Africa. I forget the name of the area. I think it was like Helena, or maybe Saint Helena. I am not 100% sure. But here's the greatest thing of it. I had made a back of the set antenna for my Yaesu 817. So it was a QRP radio, and I thought I was transmitting with 5 watts at that particular time, but realized later on that I was on battery power, internal battery power, and was only transmitting 2.5 watts at the best. And it was a single sideband contact, not a digital contact. So that was one of my greatest of my DX contact. That was also on 20 meters. Let's see. Other contacts that I have made. Did I receive a QSL card? Yes, I did, and I still have it to this day. I'm really not big on saving QSL cards, so I have a little recipe thing where you keep your recipes, where I've got some of my earlier contacts. But after a while, I decided that I really wasn't in this hobby for QSL cards. So I was pretty bad at it and didn't keep a log for a long time. But I know, I'm a bad ham radio operator. What can I say? So that's it. South of Africa, can't really pinpoint the area. It was back in around 2009. That's for DX contacts. AC2, AE, back on over to net control.
Joe, when you summarized that contact, which was amazing, not only what you forgot to mention, or what you forgot to reshare with the group, is the fact that you did it on low power and on battery power too. Now that's a DX contact, folks. That is a very impressive contact. Low power and on battery power. My goodness. Joe, what was the wattage of your radio set to?
Okay, I had the radio set to 5 watts, but on the Yaesu 817, even if you're set to 5 watts, when you're on internal battery power, it's only 2.5 watts. 2.5 watts. You know, I gotta say, another contact, I don't know if this one would really be my contact, but there was a guy that I used to know. His name was Tommy. He was W2WW. And he was a genius, man. This guy was definitely by far a genius. At the Canarsie Pier, he flew a kite up in the air with a wire on it. Not even sure how high it was, but it was pretty much, it was up there. And with a I forgot what the name of the radio was. Oh boy, I know it was a Yaesu. I just can't remember which one it was. But on the very first key down on the kite antenna, we hit Afghanistan, and I'm talking Afghanistan was coming in like it was in our backyard. I mean, it was a full solid 10 plus 50. It was a solid contact. One thing that made me remember that contact so much is that the kite was so far up in the air that when he would get a key, like a regular household key, and he would bring it close to the wire, you could actually see a spark come off the wire. It was arcing, and it was because of the friction in the air was causing all that voltage. So I forgot how we kept it from hurting the radio, but that's definitely got to be one of the more memorable contacts as well. So Afghanistan and with a kite antenna and with a back of the set antenna on an 817, the south of Africa, AC2 AE.
Wow, I'm glad I asked that question because that was that was even more impressive hearing it the second time. That's nuts. With a kite antenna, WW2WW. Wow. Tommy, miss you, Tommy. Uh, but wow, amazing. That was very, very cool. Thanks, Joe, for sharing that. DC2AE from TV2LRX. We're going over to a guy that flies antennas up in the air with a drone at times. A guy who put the man in Manchester, the one, the only TG0BK. We want to know, Russ, do you DX? If so, how do you do so? Has it been through CB radio, television, broadcast radio, or another method? And what was the farthest station you DX, and how far did you go? How did you do so? Did you get a QSL card? TV2LRX.
Well, good evening, Jason, and everyone on the net. I did have some traffic. I still do. If you'd like to hear that later, you can call on me. I've got some Rusty Balloons facts and some, as our pilot likes to call them, Cracker Jacks facts for traffic, if you'd like to hear that later. But to answer your question, Dad was an avid shortwave listener, and in fact, he even joined the shortwave listeners group at that time where they would issue call signs. And it was usually 2 letters, a number, and then your initials if it didn't conflict with anybody else's initials. So he actually had a shortwave listener call sign. It never got to be a ham because he couldn't do code at all. But he was running around on the TV. He had built his own tuner amplifier type thing. Anyway, he was able to pull in on television back in the 60s, Hawaii. He actually got Hawaii TV from Iowa. And I remember seeing that, and you really had to look to be able to see the test pattern there. But yeah, you could see it. It was just before it came on the air, and at that time, most stations would put out a test pattern first for a while, and then they start their programming. And anyway, so I was able to see that, but I didn't do that. I started listening shortwave a lot, and my big station that I had when I was a shortwave listener was HCJV in Johannesburg, South Africa, and found out I could get it quite a bit. And at that time, they were at 50,000 watts, and now they're at 5,000 watts, and I haven't heard them in many years. I didn't even think they were on the air. As far as any DX contacts, wow, yeah, a lot of them. I guess the biggest one that comes to mind is Hong Kong. I was able to contact Hong Kong, and some other place over there. Tokyo was one. And so that's the two big ones that I can remember that I have in my logbook anyway.
KD2 LRX. Very nice, Russ. Very nice. Did you say that shortwave station was HCJB? Or what was the call on that?
It was Hotel Charlie Juliet Bravo. Hotel Charlie Juliet Bravo. Johannesburg, South Africa. And I guess they're still in existence today, but they've changed the antennas with smaller antennas. Only now are 5,000 watts. So don't think, and they're not aimed for us anymore, so I don't think you can get them.
Interesting. I just plugged them into the internet, the call sign, and it says that they are now the Voice of Andes, with daily programming in Ecuador and the first Christian missionary radio station in the world. They now focus on Ecuador with unified programming on 89.3 in I'm not going to say this right, Pinchicha, in Manabai, and I'm not going to go on to say the rest because I can't say any of those names. But very, very neat. DX contacts. Speaking of DX contacts on shortwave, I recently got back into shortwave radio. I actually just repurchased a Radio Shack DX 397, which I listened to some shortwave transmissions on various bands. The thing goes 60 meters, 49 meters, 41 meters, 31 meters, 25 meters, 21, 19, 16, 15, and 13 meters. And then does your AM midwave as well as your frequency modulated stations. Really cool stuff. Shortwave radio is really, really, really neat. Very, very neat, in fact. Good stuff, Russ. I will apologize because I forgot to clear your traffic, but I'll take you up on that offer. After we go through everybody's answers, let's have you share your traffic. I'd love to hear it, and I'm sure everyone else will as well. Let me let this drop. All right, let's go on over to KK7AYJ, Cigarette and Net. Net UDX, if so how? And UDX, for example, through amateur radio, CB, TV, broadcast radio, or another method. And what was the farthest station UDX? How did you do so? From KD2 LRX.
KK7AYG to Net Control and all of the participants this evening. I'm new. I still have no clue. And this topic, I watched David and the machines around the house, but have yet to learn any of the DX stuff. But I am loving everybody's answers this evening. Thank you.
All right, Annette. Well, Annette, one of these days you will make a DX contact, and we want to know about it. So even if the question doesn't come back to this, we do want you to chime in and let us know as soon as you do, because you will. All right, thank you very much, KK7AYJ from KD2LRX. Let's go on over to Mr. KD2MSU, Howie, Coney Island, Brooklyn. We want to know, do you DX, sir? If so, how do you do so? Is it through CB radio, amateur radio, TV broadcast, or another method? And what was the farthest station you DX'd, and how did you do so from KD2LRX?
Okay, the farthest station I made contact with is in Western British Columbia, near the Yukon border. This is where the person claimed he was, and that was on one of the Sunday nets when I was the operator. By the way, anyone out there like to test their 10-meter equipment, antenna, etc.? Sundays at 11 a.m., 1500 UTC, every Sunday, 28.380 USD. Try to contact the Kings County radio club, 10-meter net, just a vacuum net. So you might want to try that. And next time I answer this question, maybe it'll be one of you guys who's the furthest away. Okay, now, this Kilo Delta 2, my Sierra uniform, back to Net Control.
KD2MSU. Hey, Howie, I missed that last part. Can you share that one more time with us, KD2LRX?
Oh, I was saying if they follow my suggestion and tune in 28380, Kings County Radio Club at 11 a.m., Sunday, 1500 UTC, every Sunday, and maybe they'll become my longest DX contact. That's all. Kilo Delta 2, Mike Sierra uniform, back to Net Control again.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up, Howie. Appreciate that. Yeah, definitely check out that net, guys, on Sunday morning. I have never been able to make contact, although I've heard them on my Yaesu 991, but probably because of the skip, because I'm not too close, but I'm not too far either. I've probably just kind of leaped over them. But I appreciate that. Thank you, Howie. KD2, MSU. All right. Before we go on over to NV7SS, let's do another call for check-ins. Any stations wishing to check in, may do so by calling Net Control now. Wow. VK2DY, we got you in there. Kellyville Ridge, Australia. Your audio is, I mean, like, flaming hot red or even blue. It's super, super hot. You might want to back off that mic a little bit. What's your local temperature? Definitely back off that mic because you're super hot right now.
So actually turn it down a little bit, so probably still too loud. 14.5 degrees, which is about 58 Fahrenheit.
All right, yeah, you might want to bring it down a little bit more. It's super hot. But I got you down there, 58 degrees, Kellyville Ridge, Australia. Thank you very much, sir. Great to have you in here in the number 19 spot. All right, any other stations looking to check in? CoolNet Control now. I saw that our friend Michael and Emmy keyed up WB7RWS, but I didn't hear anything. Michael, you want to give it another try? Let us know what your local temperature is. All right, it looks like Michael might be having some technical difficulties with his radio, but I do have him logged in as number 20. If he gets it all figured out, we'd love to have him tell us the temperature, perhaps when we get to him with the question of the evening. Any other stations looking to check in? KD2 LRX. All right, nothing heard. So with that said, let's get back to our question of the evening. And NV7SS is next. We want to know, Kenneth, do you DX? If so, how do you do so? Is it through amateur radio, CB, TV, broadcast radio, or another method? What was the farthest station you DX? How did you do it? And did you get a QSL card?
Yeah, this is NV7SS. Oh yeah, DX, that's, yeah, sure do. My longest, furthest one was, South Africa. South Africa, yeah, and, I do have the, QSL card. I still have the QSL card hanging here on my wall. I believe it's on my wall. But anyway, also, about 2 days later, I was in my mobile truck there, and I was coming home from work, and this was all on 40 meters. I talked to the same gentleman on 40 meters in my truck, and that was on 100 watts, and I talked to him in my mobile rig there, so got him a couple of times there. And on the base station there, I was putting out 270 watts to him. But he was coming through loud and clear, and that was a fun night there, I'll tell you. Especially when I got him on the mobile rig there, and he gave me a good signal on the mobile rig, and that was cool. That was really cool. So anyway, thanks for the chance to get on there, and yeah, love those jokes. That was fantastic. My vote goes toward the not cutting long hair too. So NV7SS, back to the dead.
All right, that was a sweet contact. And yeah, you know, sometimes when you make those, actually, anytime you make those super awesome contacts, um, and it's a great night of propagation, those become very, very memorable and nights that we never forget on the air. That is for sure. You bring it up, and I totally, totally agree with you 100%. Kenneth, thank you so much for sharing. And stay cool, 104 degrees in Indian Springs, Nevada. Wow, NV7SF. We're going over to K2CVD. Our friend Chris on the Upper West Side. Chris, would love to hear your answer to tonight's question.
Well, thank you, Jason. Actually, this is a very easy question for me because when I first started with the digital modes, which is pretty much what I'm limited to here, and finally got my first D-Star radio set up, I talked to a guy, and if anybody's on D-Star, you'll know who I mean, Ivan, HL5BBD in South Korea. So all I could think about was I had this little radio. I'm sitting here on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, and I'm talking to a guy in South Korea. And I've spoken to him many, many times since then. I didn't get a QSL card, but I did get a confirmation on QRT. So that would be my most memorable DX contact. K2CVD, back to net control.
K2CVD, KD2, LRX. We lost you there, Chris. If you want to tell us again, would love to hear you and about that contact in South Korea.
Okay, Jason, thank you. I hope I'm coming through now. It was on D-Star when I first started, and it was Ivan. If you're on D-Star, you've probably spoken to Ivan in South Korea, HL5BBD. I didn't get any kind of a QRZ page. I got a QRZ confirmation, but not a card. K2CVD, net control.
Wow, that's awesome. South Korea, a guy named Ivan, very nice contact. No QSL card, but you spoke to him, I think you even said twice. So that's pretty awesome. K2CVD, a guy who is always on all the digital networks. I've heard him on America Link. I know he is on D-Star. He's all over the place. Make the contact with K2CVD, everybody. One of our ambassadors to FusionNet and our statistician. All right, VK4EHT Bruce in Tarragindi, Australia. We want to hear your answer to tonight's question.
Yeah, KD2 LRX and the group VK4EHT. Yeah, I hope I'm getting through. There. Very interesting listening to all the different things. They're TV DXs and kite antennas, and I think I've tried a few of those here and there. But the contact that I remember the best was actually under a previous call sign that I had. So not under this one, but I was asked to repair a friend's transverter. So if you know what a transverter is, you use a HF radio as a driver, and you can then come out on 6'2" and 70 centimetres. Anyway, there was a problem with the 6 metre side of things, and he asked if I would have a look at it. So I did, and wasn't much wrong with it. But while I had it in my possession, I had the opportunity to transmit on 70 centimetres SSB, and which I didn't have on anything I own, and I could receive on 2 metres SSB, which means I could access amateur AO13, Oscar 13 satellite, which was in a very elliptical orbit when it was at its maximum altitude, about 40,000 kilometres above the northern hemisphere. And it zoomed past us in the southern hemisphere very quickly. But anyway, there was an opportunity when the satellite was visible from both Finland and where I lived in Australia. And I think there was about a 30-second common window, and I scored in contact with the station from Finland. There was more or less a CQ, a hear you, and here's your report, and that was it. But I did get the QSL card, and very pleased. And I think I don't normally chase the X, but I had a QSL card that I sent, and I just sent it direct there without the bureau and everything like that. So that was my fun one, probably about 30 years ago. But anyway, that was a very memorable one there. KD2LRX in the group, BK4BHT.
VK4EHT making out of this world contact, as well as with a satellite, and spoke to Finland. Very, very nice. In Australia. Very impressive contact. Out of this world, literally. Fantastic. All right, let's go on over to N5DWR, our good friend Dennis in Spring, Texas. Dennis, we want to know, do you DX? If so, how? I amateur radio, TV, broadcast radio, or nothing. What was the farthest station you DX'd, and how did you do so? From KD2LRX over to N5DWR. N5DWR, Dennis in Spring, Texas. Are you still with us? All right, nothing heard from N5DWR. If Dennis does come back, I would love to hear his answer to tonight's question. In the meantime, let's go on over to our buddy in Cape Coral, Florida, TV2 IDX, for his answer to tonight's question. Take it away, Chris.
Well, you would think with a call sign like that, I would definitely do some DXing. Unfortunately, these days, I'm relegated to apartment life, so I don't have much of a choice. And I'm getting a lot of on DMR and Fusion. In fact, that Japanese fellow that he was just talking about, HL5 BBD, is also on DMR. So I've talked to him there. But to answer your question to the point, I got my call sign in the mid 80s. And I think we were at the peak of a cycle at the time. And I had, it was a Moonraker 4 beam. It was a 4-element beam. I think it was originally 11 meters, but it seemed to do fairly well on 10. And I made a contact to Auckland, New Zealand. And it wasn't so much that it was that far away, but it was also on 10 meter FM, which was really bizarre. I just put a call out there and he came booming right in on my first CQ. And needless to say, it scared the heck out of me. But we talked for a couple of minutes, and I came away from that shaking, forgetting to write it down. But these days, I just have to do the digital, which is fun. I'm having the time of my life doing it. Back to net control, KD2 LRX, KB2 IDX.
KB2 IDX. You know what? You beat me to it. I didn't even think about that. That you have DX in the suffix of your call sign. That's very cool. And you deserve it because of that contact you made in, or made to, I should say, Auckland, New Zealand. That is very, very neat. Very cool stuff. Thank you for sharing that with us tonight. Appreciate that. Let's go on over to AG7WQ. Thomas over in Coolidge, Arizona. He's got the hottest temperature this evening. Thomas, we want to know your answer to tonight's question.
Well, I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. I got no DX. Did some SWL when I was a kid more than 60 years ago with an old Hallicrafters receiver that my dad had, rigged up a long wire between the house and the back garage, which basically let me listen to traffic north and south of my location in Southern California. And if I recall correctly, the furthest station away that I heard was in Washington State. But 60 years ago, I have trouble remembering what I had for breakfast. So on a completely unrelated note, I'm going to mention that I spotted an albino Dalmatian the other day. Seemed like the least I could do. Back to net control, AG7WQ.
Final Dalmatian. How about that? Wow. And by the way, I count that as a DX contact, by the way. What you said, I think you said in Washington, you know, even though you didn't make the contact necessarily, I think you just heard it. I count that DX. That's DXing. You heard a long distance contact out there. So very nice. Thank you very much. Coolidge, Arizona, AT7WQ. KE0WFI, St. Peter, Minnesota, DFDX. If so, how do you do so? And was it maybe through amateur radio, CB, TV broadcast, or another method? What was the farthest station, and how did you do so? KE0WFI. Take it away, sir.
Well, I can say I've never done DX, and I guess the farthest I've heard, but couldn't receive back transmissions and whatnot, would have been during propagation of VHF was picking up a repeater in northern Canada. We could hear their cross country now. And we couldn't respond back, but they came in crystal clear for a couple hours, and it was a pretty good listen. KE0W5, back to net control.
That's cool. I had to step away from my radio for a second. Did you say Northern Ontario?
Somewhere up in northern Canada, and they're on the same frequency as the local repeater, and I was picking it up at the time on the FD70 while I was out on a little walk. And, it's kind of a fun thing to pick up that happens from time to time. Back to net control.
Very, very cool. Yes, I agree. When you pick up DX stations, even if you're not talking to them, and you're just hearing them and you're listening, no matter what the mode is, it's very exciting. And you want to listen to as long as that wave allows you to. So, very cool stuff. Thank you very much, Tyler. All right, I know K2ACD was in and out tonight, so we'll go on over to Kellyville Ridge, Australia, where Robert's standing by. We'd love to hear his answer to tonight's question.
Yes, good afternoon. This is Robert, BK2UI, in Newton Ridge. It is, I used to, when I was much younger, I was into shortwave listening. So I did collect a lot of the old shortwave stations DX cards back in the 70s and 80s, a long time ago. Anyway, because Soviet Union and South Africa, they had a whole collection of these cards, carousel cards. Anyway, other than that, what else? Oh, I was just going to mention, there's a fellow here who's a ham radio operator who's resurrected the old Radio Australia frequencies. Radio Australia, of course, went off shortwave a long time ago, but he's resurrected them, and he broadcasts on several of those frequencies as Radio Australia, interestingly enough. So I don't know exactly what power he's using, but I've heard him on the old Radio Australia frequencies. Anyway, thank you very much. BK2UI. Back to
Very cool. Very cool. Thanks for sharing that. And I really loved you know that I think you said it was in Africa. You've heard some stations out in Africa years back. Very, very nice. Very exciting stuff. De-esting, I think, is amazing. Some of the stuff that you'll hear and even the contacts that you'll make if you're on like CB or amateur radio. Very neat stuff. Very, very neat stuff. Thanks for sharing that, BK2TY. Let's go on over to WB7RWS if he's around. Michael, if your radio is transmitting at this time, we'd love to know your local outside temperature, first off. And second of all, do you DX? How do you do it if you do? And what's the part of the station that you DX? And please let us know. KD2 LRS. WB7 or WS, are you still with us? Michael in Emmett, Idaho. All right, nothing heard, unfortunately. Hopefully Michael gets his radio all figured out shortly. And if he does tonight, we'd love to hear his answer to tonight's question. All right. I will tell you that in terms of DXing for me, I have had DX experiences on amateur radio, broadcast radio, digital amateur radio. Let's start on broadcast. One night I was working at a radio station in eastern Long Island. This was going back maybe close to 20 years ago now. And I was driving home. It was probably like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I did the overnight. And I am driving home and I'm scanning the band in my Volkswagen Jetta at the time, or GTI, I forgot which one I had. And I heard, I'm forgetting the name of the station, but it was an R&B station, WDIS I think it was, out in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And that was really, really neat hearing that station coming through in the Suffolk County part of Long Island around exit like 54, 55-ish, somewhere around there. Somewhere between 53 and 55 if you're familiar with the Long Island Expressway. That was pretty cool. On amateur radio, I have DX with stations as far away as Italy. I did that actually at Matt's truck one time at a Jones Beach State Park in the summer. That was really, really neat. Let me let this drop. I have also made contacts with, well, actually, I didn't make a contact with this station. They actually called out, believe it or not, on our fusion repeater that we had for Kings County Radio Club back in the day, going back many years ago. I was on late at night, and I think maybe Matt was on with me at the time, and a station, a U.S. military station in Iraq, um, um, had somebody come through our repeater system, and they threw out their call, and we tried to transmit back a few times, and they didn't hear us for whatever reason, but we did hear them loud and clear. That was really, really cool at the time as well. So those are my DX stories that I have. Like I said, I recently purchased on eBay a Radio Shack DX 397 and a Grundig shortwave radio, and I have been messing around with them, trying to, get some shortwave stations out there. I will tell you, the Grundig radio is not doing anything in terms of picking up anything but local stations, but the DX397 Radio Shack radio is destroying it, man. I'm picking up everything with this little mighty radio. So, having fun doing that, and that's my story, KD2 LRX. All right. Before we go on over to roughest traffic, I want to see if there are any other stations out there that would like to check into FusionNet. Please call Net now.
Net control. Net control. N5 DWR recheck.
Hey, Dennis and Spring, we got you in there. Dennis, I'd love to hear your answer to tonight's question if you want to take it.
Thanks a lot, Jason. Good evening to everybody else on the net. Really, I don't pay much attention to getting any real distance. I do most of my stuff here with HDs on local repeaters, but I do have an HF, but I'm really limited to a wire that's not very far up in the air. But I did catch one day, I think it was early in the morning on 20 meters Trinidad. So I guess that would probably be my furthest on HF. Digital, yeah, you can get anywhere. I guess my most memorable digital, I was probably on America Link, was a gentleman in the Czech Republic. So that was really interesting. It was pretty difficult to communicate, language barrier. But we managed. I've talked to Japan several times, Italy, Australia, pretty much with C4FM or any of the rest of them. You can pretty much talk anywhere in the world. And that's really my story. Eventually, someday, if they do away with HOAs, I'll get a decent HF antenna and I can join in on all the fun. I guess that's it, Jason. I'll send it back on to you. N5 DWR. Clear.
N5 DWR. Well, you know what? You just said it, my friend. Fusion and digital modes are definitely the workaround to HOAs. And you've successfully, through digital radio, made contacts with places like Italy, as you just mentioned. So, more power to you. That's awesome. Very, very cool. Speaking of HOAs, I got some really good news today. Personal news. Never mind. I, after all these years living where I live, I finally got my own personal parking space. I no longer have to worry about getting tickets or parking on the street or finding a spot. I finally got my own space. Well, I paid for it already, but I don't have it yet. Tomorrow I should have it though, and I'm really excited about that. So there you go. And then on the other side of bad news, I bought one of these. I'm sorry for bothering you guys with this, but I bought one of these Vornado fans, which Joe knows I'm obsessed with. And this one is a stand-up fan, and I was really excited about it. I ordered it last week, and it was originally supposed to come in last Thursday, and it didn't. And it got moved the delivery date to this Thursday. So I get the fan, it came in, I plug it in, and all of a sudden you hear the fan sounds like it's going to explode. Turns out that the inner workings of the fan were messed up, so when you hit power, all the blades were chopping off of the stupid fan. It was rubbing up against something. So now I have to wait until next Thursday to get my brand new Vornado fan. So hopefully by next net, I will have a brand new Vornado fan to keep me cool during the day. And I'll keep you posted on that one. But in general, if you guys are looking for a fan, Vornado makes one amazing fan. They're the only fans I buy because I think they're fantastic. Anyway, with that said, any other stations looking to check in, please call net right now, KD2LR. All right, with nothing heard, let's go over to Rock and Russ, KG0BK in Manchester, Iowa. Russ, once more, apologize for missing the fact that you had traffic tonight. Take it away, sir. KD2LRX, KG0BK.
Oh, no apologies needed, Jay. No apologies needed. Yeah, this is only the third time you've jumped over my traffic. Well, who's counting? Okay. Well, for those who are left and those that knew I was coming up and are bored with the balloons, you're lucky. You don't have to listen to it. I'll just make it short and sweet. One, to go to see them, we've updated the site to make it easier for everybody. You go to ham/tv.com. That's HAM dash. Don't use a slash. Minus sign or a dash. ham-tv.com. And if you put in slat bar balloon, that'll take you right to the page, and then you can scroll down. There's a little advertisement on there about prices we'll be giving away. You can just click on that to bypass it if you want to. But if you scroll down to the next page, on the left-hand side, it will show you right where the balloon is. You don't have to put it in. You don't have to do nothing. It'll show you right where it's at. And this has been the craziest balloon anybody has ever seen. It's gone around in circles more times than anybody. Been up 40 days and it's made, I don't know how many circles, 5 or 6 in different areas and then goes into a different direction. And this has flown west, by mileage, west more than it has east. And all balloons get up, and they travel east, and they go around the world. No, not ours. Ours made it from Tennessee to Pennsylvania, and then circled back around, went down into Mexico, started toward Hawaii, turned around, came through California, went through New York, and then finally across the Atlantic Ocean. And now it's doing crazy things again. We got to through South Korea and Japan, then started south and back west. And right now we're located about, I don't know, I didn't look up mileage, but we're on the east coast of Africa, coming back west. Don't know. That is crazy. Still up around about 51,000 feet. Doing well. 10 milliwatt transmitter. And I want to thank Pilot David and probably Annette for the idea of Cracker Jack specs. I kind of like that. I really do. So here we go. Nothing I could find today. Apparently today is not a history day, so to speak of. So we'll go back to yesterday. Now these are all from yesterday. And this date yesterday in 1938, born was Diana Rigg and Natalie Wood. Now they're probably both before most of your times, and in 1947, Carlos Santana, who was a singer and songwriter, he was born yesterday on this date. Some of the events in history on yesterday was Colombia gained its independence. So yesterday was Independence Day in Colombia. 1859, admission fee was first charged to see a baseball game. That's right, they started charging admission to see baseball. Oh, and by the way, in 1859, it was to get in, it was 50 cents. 50 cents. I don't know what that comes out to our day in money, but that was 50 cents. 1872, Milan Loomis received a patent for, are you ready? Wireless. Yep, the radio was born. 1872, Milan Loomis received a patent for wireless. And I'll be right back. I didn't set my timer, so we'll come right back with the last 4 or so. Okay, what's kind of interesting here, I told you in 1872, Milan Loomis, I guess, Loomis, yeah, Loomis, received a patent for wireless. Well, 6 years later, in 1878, the first telephone was introduced in Hawaii. Now go figure that one. 1969, man landed on the moon, and that would be at 4:18 New York time. And of course, that was Armstrong and Aldrin who walked on the moon, and Collins was orbiting in the Apollo 11. In 1970, the first baby was born on Alcatraz Island. Yes, Alcatraz. 1976, the first pictures from Mars surface was received, and that's thanks to the Viking 2. And in 1992, and who cares, Madonna poses nude in Playboy. Big deal. That's it from KG0BK and the Cracker Jack Specs.
KD2 LRX. I gotta say, old Madonna hot, new Madonna not so hot. But back in the day, you know what? When she wasn't like totally bleach blonde, I was all into her. When she was like bleach blonde, like in Who's That Girl or whatever, too much, man, too much. So, that's my opinion of Madonna anyway. um, thank you very much, Russ, for your stats tonight. You did time out once, though. I do want to let you know that. So, I do want to let you know. But you didn't time out when you gave your Cracker Jack stats. That you didn't do. And how about that balloon, man? You guys, I'll tell you, you're going to give NASA, SpaceX, and all these other things a run for their money with with what you guys are sending up. Very, very cool stuff. Thank you, Russ. KG0BK from KD2LRX. All right, any other stations that have any traffic comments or anything else they want to add to this net?
I have got a comment.
Your comment is granted, Joe.
Madonna is a skivatsa. She's a skivatsa. She was a skivatsa back in the day. She was a skivatsa when she did Playboy. She's a skivatsa now. She'll always be a skivatsa.
She's a disgraziata.
That's Zoccola Botana.
Disgraziata. All right, Joe. I knew your comment was going to be about Madonna. But Joe, but guys, why am I bringing this up? But guys, you know what? While Joe doesn't like Madonna, Joe has a lovely relationship with one particular celebrity. Joe, do you wanna share who that celebrity is? Do you know who I'm talking about?
Oh, that's got to be the other Zoccola Botana. There's got to be what's her name? Oh gosh, the one that was on Who's the Boss. I can't even think of her name. Yeah, she got me kicked off of what's it called? What's the one? The Twitter. Melissa Alano. That's it. Yeah, she got me kicked off of Twitter. That biatch.
That is the one. That's what. So, guys, if you ever meet Alyssa Milano, ask her what she thinks of Joe AC2A. You know what? Listen, this is how I look at the whole situation. You know, they hate each other and everything, you know, but if, let's just say in another world, another dimension, Joe wasn't married to his beautiful, lovely wife, and Joe was a single man, and these two saw each other somewhere, I don't know, in Bay Ridge or wherever Alyssa Milano lives now, I don't even know. You know what? I have a feeling it would have started with a fight and a screaming and a yelling and how repulsive they think each other are, and then I think it would end in a total make-out session. What do you think, Joe? Did Joe hear me? KD2LRX. I don't think Joe heard me. KD2 LRX AC2AE.
Oh, was I not keyed up that whole time? Did you not hear me about Alyssa Milano, Dizzy Gillespie, and Brad Weatherford?
I didn't hear any of that. You didn't key up.
Okay, let's see if I got it now. My three celebrity enemies. One is Alyssa Milano. She's still alive. Dizzy Gillespie. I met him in a club in New York. And Brad Weatherford at Brendan Byrne. I had a meet and greet with Aerosmith. And the second night, I had a fight with Brad Weatherford. AC2, AE. Those are my three celebrity enemies.
Can I ask you? So I knew about Brad Weatherford. I knew about Alyssa. What's up with Dizzy Gillespie?
Well, I gotta just say, I was a very big fan of Dizzy Gillespie back in the day, man. I actually went out of my way to go see him many, many times. And the one time that he actually came down to the crowd to like sit and hang out with us, he got very, very rude with me. I went over to him. I said, Mr. Gillespie, I said, can I have your autograph? He turned to me and said, you ain't got no manners. You ain't got no this. Your mama didn't raise you the right way. So I took my paper that I wanted him to sign. I threw it up in the air and said a couple of derogatory terms that I can't say on the radio. And that was the last I've ever listened to him.
You guys heard it first here on FusionNet. Joe and his encounter with Dizzy Gillespie. You know, I know a lot of Joe's stories, but I didn't know that one. But that's definitely up there with the fireworks story, the Alyssa Milano encounter, and how he got kicked off of Twitter with her, and a bunch of others that many of which you guys know, and some of which you don't. And I've been sworn to secrecy about. But that's awesome, Joe. Only Joe AC2AE, guys. All right. Any other stations with any comments for FusionNet before we wrap this puppet up?
Kilo 2, Charlie Victor Delta to net control.
Yes, sir. I'm assuming you got some stats for me.
Roger that, Jason. So here we go. I'll text them to you in a minute. 5 time zones, 11 U.S. states, 2 Australian states, 2 continents, 2 countries, and 17 cities. And I also want to thank Russ for the historical data. It's a lot of fun to listen to that. So thank you, Russ. K2CVD, back to net control.
All right. Thank you very much. Great stats tonight. Can't wait for you to text them. And for all you guys and girls who check things out on the FusionNet.org, I will be updating the site most likely tomorrow right after work. So just look out for that. All right. So probably, I don't know, by 6, 7 o'clock p.m. it'll be up. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Any other questions, comments for tonight's net? Alright, with nothing heard, let's wrap this pivot up. So, this is the weekly meeting of the FusionNet where our mission is to have fun, help educate those individuals interested in learning about the amateur radio hobby, and to continue building the fellowship of AMs across the world. You know, DX style. We host this net weekly on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern where participants pass traffic and comment, and we discuss all things amateur radio related with an emphasis on the various digital modes and beyond. We even talk DX. I mean, forget about it, you know? We're Fusion now. We can do that. Each week, Net Control presents either a question or topic open for discussion or host a trivia night. Joe usually does that. However, next time I host it, I have trivia for you guys, and it's presidential, where participants put their knowledge to the test on the various amateur radio topics. We encourage participants to email us with subjects they'd like to discuss in FusionNet to fusion@thefusionnet.org. Most of all, we want you to have fun. Why? This is your net, and we want to make sure we're covering topics you want to discuss. Go on over, check out our FusionNet website. It's really awesome, thefusionnet.org. By the way, don't forget this. If you go over to the FusionNet.org and you're like, you know what the hell? I can't really see much of anything. Well, that's probably because you're not yet a member. If you check in 10 consecutive times to this net, we grant you full access, that means full reign, to the FusionNet.org, and you can check out so many different cool areas, and those areas keep expanding, getting larger, and it's good. All right, club members contribute their time and their money to provide all these services to the local amateur radio community, and we appreciate all of your support. With that said, are there any late check-ins to FusionNet? Please call Net Control now. All right, with nothing heard, folks, I'd like to thank the following station for checks or stations, plural, for checking in and contributing to tonight's net. Starting things off, I'd like to thank KB6, DHR, Michael, and Kelso. How about N7MKY? The pilot himself, Captain Cataracts. That is David in Boise, Idaho. By the way, buy a Ryobi fan, guys, and then you'll become a Ryobi you-know-what. Right, David? All right. How about K1NEW over in Naples, Florida? We had KB0BSI, Tom in Minot, North Dakota. We had Tom in Piqua, NHBTU, and our buddy, the GOAT, the GOAT, greatest of all time, Joe in Gravesend, Brooklyn, New York, AC2AE. We had KG0BK, the guy that brings us our Cracker Jack facts in Manchester, Iowa, Russell, KG0BK again. How about Cigarette Annette and her joke? The joke that beat out N7MKY's, mind you, this week, K7AYJ. Let me let this drop. We had our resident meteorologist, the always super accurate KD2MSU over in Coney Island, Brooklyn. We had Kenneth Taylor over in Indian Springs, Nevada, 104 degrees tonight, second hottest temperature in V7SF. How about K2CVD, our resident statistician, Christian, on the Upper West Side of New York City. In Tarragindi, Australia, we had Bruce. He is VK4EHC. How about Dennis over in Spring, Texas, N5DWR. We had in Cape Coral, Florida, our good buddy KB2IDX. He doesn't do much DXing these days, though. We had AG7WQ, our buddy over in Coolidge, Arizona. And Coolidge is anything but cool. At 108 degrees, he is our warmest temperature this evening. We had in St. Peter, Minnesota, KE0WFI, Tyler. How about Matt in Long Beach, Long Island, New York, our original ambassador, the OG K2ACD. CK2DY over in Kellyville Ridge, Australia. Love having him here week to week. And we didn't hear him tonight. We missed him, but we did see him key up WB7RWS, Michael and Emmett. With that said, folks, remember this in the great words of inventor, futurist Nikola Tesla. No, he's not the guy that built those lame cars. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. This is KD2LRX. The FusionNet is now over. The network is returned to casual communication. 7-3 to all, and good night. KD2LRX, I am clear.
Jay, let me be the first one to say awesome net tonight, man. Thank you. And guys, I am out of here, man. I have been up so early. I've been at the Graphics Pro Expo all day. I'll be there all day tomorrow. So, guys, have a wonderful, blessed rest of your week and a blessed weekend. And be well, everyone. AC2. AE. I'll be clear.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. KD2LRX. Have fun over at that expo. I saw I saw you list that on Facebook earlier today. I may have liked it. I hope I did. Have fun. Safe travels. KD2LRX.